Hey, Phil from Got Memories here. In this video, I'm going to briefly touch on the sneaky little things that film transfer companies do that consumers have no idea that this is going to happen. It's sneaky, it's tricky, and it's intended to make whoever is doing the transfer, their job easier. The way that I do things is the long way, but it is the right way to do things. Now, a lot of people have got the old reels like this, originally came back from Kodak, and looking like so. You know, they've got everything written on them, and they're all, just there. And so most people assume, the company is going to be sending me back individual files for each reel, like so. No, it is not the case. Most transfer companies take all of your films and then they just haphazardly splice them in any old sequence onto larger reels like this. And then they tell customers, oh, that's for your convenience. We're just kind of like making things, more compact and ergonomic for you. No. And they splice the reels together so they can just put it on a machine and walk away. And first of all, you never walk away from any film transfers because this stuff can get eaten up in an instant. It's very, brittle and potentially, damageable. And also adjusting for lighting conditions and problems and all sorts of things. You never, ever walk away. But this is a telltale sign that, a company might be just walking away and setting it and forgetting it. This is not something you can do that with. But getting back on track here, like this customer has diligently, kept everything organized and then handed over a cheat sheet in an Excel, was a PDF form. And then we just cut and paste, myself and Samantha, cut and paste this over to the directory. Or if it's not on this type of, a cheat sheet, that is preferred, but we do the best we can to just kind of read the chicken scratch, and this can be edited easily afterwards. But this gives you a complete and utter rundown of everything. And that is the standard that should be done with every single film transfer. But unfortunately, this is not happening. So, you can just pull up, and this looks like Christmas Day. And this is Super 8 sound, by the way. I'm just going to kind of whiz through these. But, the audio, the audio is coming through loud and clear. And most transfer companies do not transfer the audio, or if they're doing it, the pitch is off. Everyone sounds like the chipmunks, and it's just butchered. But most companies don't transfer the sound, and they won't tell you this up front. And then you get it all back silent, and you go, what the hell? And they go, oh, sorry, go to this web page and look down the very bottom and the smallest fine print. It says that we don't do it. And the reasons they say they don't do it is a load of BS. They don't have the equipment. They don't want to spend the money on the equipment, even though they can spend, hundreds of thousands a month. Some of these companies, Legacy Box, Kodak, digitizing the South Tree, spend hundreds of thousands a month on AdWords, but yet they won't spend the money on Super 8 sound equipment. It's expensive, but they still take the money, and they do not give people a heads up that their Super 8 sound, their films have sound on them. They just transfer it and let you figure it out, and no refunds whatsoever. So But the big thing here, you've got to ask, if you're shopping around for companies, do you keep the films on the original reels? Because otherwise they're going to come back all with no film on them, and they're going to be somewhere in a clump of larger reels. Now you'll get one file back for the whole collection. Now you've got a mess trying to figure out what's what. It's crazy. But the first question is, do you splice reels together? Yes, we do. You hang up immediately. If they say, no, we don't, do you individually title them like this? No, we don't. Hang up. Do you have videos on your equipment, not just the blurb on your web page about your technology that you're using? You need to see content, YouTube content. Takes 2 seconds to make a video like this and upload it and show off your facility and where all the work is done. Here's all the Tobin Cinema System equipment I have, film transfer units there up on the top as well. My channel is extensive and transparent, and that is how every company should be Unfortunately, many are hiding behind curtains or shipping it off to another location. They don't have videos because they're just farming it out to someone else. Which, okay, sometimes that's okay, but you need to know who they're farming it out to. Because if there's any problems, then you also need to know, are they splicing them together or are they putting them on larger reels? And they will try and spin it and tell you, no, we do that for you. We do it for you. BS. Okay, they're doing it to make their job easier. Because it is more time consuming to stop, start. 57 reels, 58 reels in this batch. Yes, it's more work, but it is the right thing to do. Like, there's no other way to do it. You're going to end up with a mess. So you get what you pay for. You must see really good reviews on Google, Google Maps, not google.com. Because there's fake reviews everywhere, fake review sites, and you need to do your homework. Pump the brakes. Any of these box companies, no. Anything with an 800 number, no. Anyone that doesn't have videos on how they do stuff, no. Anyone that is splicing reels onto larger stuff like this, no. So you got one copy of this stuff and you might have only one chance to do this correctly, because if some numbskull gets hold of it and just chews up the film or breaks it, this is the only copy of Christmas 1984. People don't have copies of this stuff. So you've got one chance sometimes to do this correctly. And if you're going to do anything worthwhile in life, just get it done right. If you would like me to get a quote through me, gotmemories.com. I need to know where the stuff has been stored, overhead pictures of things. I like to kind of figure out what people have got, and the condition, because most people have not stored these things correctly. So I like to know what I'm getting involved with. But if you are searching for cheap pricing and you are only focused on cheap, guess what? You're going to get burnt. Do not fill out the quote. Don't waste your time filling out the quote form if you're just looking for cheap pricing, especially with Super 8 sound, because there's no equipment out there. That's why no companies are typically doing it or doing it right. They're just shining it off a toaster with a projector and videotaping it. So anyway, that's a little consumer awareness if you're looking to digitize film. So anyway, all the best. Cheers. Bye-bye.